So in today's Blu-ray news, Universal gives you a little bit more Jaws to sink your teeth into, and Scream Factory releases full specs on their release of Michael Mann's 1986 Hannibal Lecter classic, Manhunter. So Steven Spielberg's Jaws got a fantastic Blu-ray remastering and restoration just a couple of years ago, but the sequels to his film have never gotten the Blu-ray treatment up until now, where on June 14th, Universal Home Entertainment has announced they'll be releasing Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge in their own separate Blu-ray releases, with some features poured over from the Jaws 2 DVD set, and apparently Jaws 3 will be presented in 3D, where you can watch it on your 3D HD TV, but also not much to say about Jaws Revenge because there's no extra features, and apparently there's no confirmation on exactly which version of the film is going to be released, but it probably is the same one that's most likely been seen either on HD TV cable or already on the DVD and whatnot, but it's apparently some alternate versions of the film that have not been nailed down about which one is exactly going to be presented here. But if you have seen the film probably on an HD cable network, it's probably the same version, and I've seen a little bit of Jaws 3 on HD cable, and everything is like, really, if it's going to be the same print, the same transfer they did for the cable broadcast and everything, really has not been cleaned up in any type of way. It looks very grainy, very soft, very 16mm-esque. So it's like, I wouldn't expect any kind of major upgrade in terms of that type of thing, where the film is really kind of, because of the 3D process they used back in the early 80s, it really created a much more softer, grainier type of image. So it's like, it would be nice if they put a little bit of DNR, digital noise reduction action on the thing to just kind of make it a little bit better, but they're probably not going to put too much effort into the transfers, just make them look decent enough. But you'll be able to get these on June 14th with DTS Master Audio 2.0. So it's like, this is a good type of thing that's, like I said, they've been on DVD for quite some time. And now you're getting a proper HD version, so you're going to complete your collection if you care for the sequels at all. But obviously, they kind of go down in quality as they go on and become much more hilarious as they go on. So if you really enjoy these films, you'll definitely be able to grab them in about a little bit under 2 months now. So definitely keep your eyes posted for that. But the big news this week came out, at least for me anyway, was that Scream Factory released the complete specs for their collector's edition release of Michael Mann's Manhunter, the adaptation of Thomas Harris's novel Red Dragon, which was the very first film to adapt a Hannibal Lecter story. And it's very kind of a interesting set of features that they have, because first off, the main thing that they gave here was that they have almost 3 hours worth of new interviews with William Peterson, Joan Allen, Brian Cox, Tom Noonan, cinematographer Dante Spinati, and a number of the musicians who contributed music to the film, including Michael Rubini and members of Streetback and Red 7. All these types of things are really going to be a fantastic thing. This is the main thing that's going to make this something to get that much content, to get that much retrospective information from all these people who are involved in the film. But even though apparently Michael Mann was involved, at least consulted about the release of the whole thing, he does not appear in any of the new content created for this release. So it's a little bit something you really like to kind of get a little bit more from him, but they are porting over the commentary track he recorded for the director's cut, because there's going to be a 2-disc release with disc 1 featuring the proper theatrical version of the film in high definition, which is apparently going to be poured over from the MGM Blu-ray transfer, which, for what I've read, is not a terribly great transfer. There's a lot of room for improvement on it. So it's like, it's one of the things I was like, I really would have liked them to do a brand new scan of it, maybe a 2K, 4K, something like that, to get as best quality out of it, because I think, unlike some of Michael Mann's later films, which I believe were absolutely shot anamorphically, I believe Manhunter was shot on Super 35 and cropped down to the anamorphic 2.35 aspect ratio. So when you're blowing up the image, you kind of lose a little bit of detail, you kind of get a little bit more grainy. So it's like, I really would like it if this release was given a little bit more of a restoration in a certain way, just give it a brand new high quality, high definition transfer to just kind of get the best quality image you possibly can, because through all the DVD releases they've had before through Anchor Bay and MGM and such, all the transfers have wildly varied over time. I've done some comparisons in the past. They range from stuff that is very dim and soft and grainy and very desaturated to something that's very strong and poppy. I thought the THX certified remastered version from Anchor Bay really was the best quality one overall. Had the best sharpness, brightness, and color saturation overall to really get that pastel and neon colors really popping out of the film so well. And apparently they're going to port over a lot of the extras from the THX certified release, which was also part of the old Director's Cut 2-disc limited edition set from Anchor Bay. So you're going to get all those archival features, plus Michael Mann's commentary on the Director's Cut, which will be on disc 2. But it's going to be, they're going to present it in two different versions. There's one that's going to be completely just regular standard definition copy of the Director's Cut. And there's going to be one where they splice the standard definition footage from the Director's Cut into the high definition print. So it's going to be a bit of a different experience, but it's like between the general transfers of what you're going to get, it's nothing that's new. It's going to be stuff that you've already seen before. It's going to be the exact same Director's Cut you've seen in the past, and it's going to be the same Blu-ray transfer for the theatrical version that MGM has already had out for a very long time. And I did purchase it at one point, and it didn't look terribly impressive in a certain way, and looking at a couple of reviews for it, the transfer definitely leaves a lot to be desired. It could be have a lot of room for improvement. So like I said, I had hoped that they'd do a brand new scan of it to get the most definitive quality version out there, but regardless of that, getting almost 3 hours of new content with new interviews and everything is a big step forward. Getting that many members of the cast and people who worked on the music and the cinematographer as well, that's a good number of things to really go for. So it's like, if you're very interested in all the new content in that type of way, I think it's a good idea to go for it when it gets released on May 24th from Scream Factory. And apparently, if you pre-order it on their site, you'll have it shipped about 2 weeks early, along with a 18 by 24 inch special print of their new cover art, which will also be reversible on the actual Blu-ray to the classic theatrical poster art. So that's an interesting thing. It's like, again, we'd like to have, obviously, Michael Mann be there on camera and talk more retrospectively in the current day about Manhunter. But it's kind of nice that they did consult him to a certain degree. But it's also like, we would like to get a little bit of information, because like I've said, there's 4 different versions of this film available in 4 different cuts. There's a hybrid cut between like the director's cut and the theatrical cut that leaves and adds in stuff from both versions, and the original theatrical cut, then the director's cut, then the restored director's cut. So it's like, it's a very interesting thing that I would like to get some kind of perspective on from him about why there have been so many different versions of this film floating around and released so many times on DVD and everything. So it's like slightly missed opportunity there to kind of address that type of thing and get it more of a input from Michael Mann on camera with this stuff. But apparently he was consulted about the release. To what extent, I'm unaware of, but hopefully things will turn out pretty well with this set. So if all you want is just those extras, you'll definitely get plenty of work out of that. I can't imagine 3 hours of interviews will not be a fantastic thing for anyone who loves Manhunter. So definitely looking to see if I can pick that up at the time it gets released. But that's basically all I got for you guys at this time. Trying to keep it a little bit shorter than the initial episode I put together here. So that's all I got for you guys at this point in time. I'd like to hear your comments about these releases, if you're interested in picking up in the new Jaws Blu-rays, or if you're, what kind of things were you may be expecting for the Manhunter release, considering anyone who is an avid fan of that film, come a pun there, whatnot, but would really want a whole ton of content and more stuff overall, and maybe a new transfer. But regardless of that, post your comments below, guys, hit your like buttons, everything, and I should be back very soon with another brand new film review very soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye bye.